Hi, I'm Joe Hadzicki, inventor of the Revolution, and today I'm going to show you some tips and tricks on one of our advanced skills here at Revolution Club 38. So you might have noticed I'm flying on short lines. In fact, they're 30-foot lines, and the reason I do that is because it makes it easier for me and the Rev to be in the frame. So there's a couple other reasons why you might want to try some short lines. Okay, some of the other reasons I like the short lines is, number one, they're super easy to take in and put out because they're only 30 feet long. You can fly them in a small space or a crowded space, so that's always an advantage. And your Rev is just right over there. If it comes down, just go over and pick it up. Then it'll sharpen your skills. The response is so fast and so direct that it'll sharpen your skills when you're flying it. And what I love about it is I like flying the 3D skills with it. And you already saw part of that. I pulled it out of the air and caught it. And now I'm going to do the toss as well. For the first method, start with your Rev upside down on the ground. The important thing here is it's a very sensitive move and people usually over control. So what I want you to do is thumbs forward and rotate smoothly past your hip. And what we're shooting for is a 1 second inverted hover. No control really. Got a 1 second hover, that is awesome. That's all you're after. If you're not after there for 10, 15, 20 seconds, it's going to take some time to get used to the skill. Okay, here's an example of what not to do. The main thing people do that is wrong is they over control their Rev. They're usually doing the right control, they're just doing too much of it. Here's an example of too much. I launched too aggressively, and then I tried too much controlling to try to keep it in the inverted hover. Just float it up, and the less controls you do, almost the better. It's very sensitive in reverse. Okay, the inverted hover is a very complicated move, mainly because everything's upside down. Up is down, down is up, left is right, right's left. It's all mixed up. So what I used to go into long explanations saying, oh, okay, if the left wing is down, which is actually on the right, I try to explain it. And then I finally realized you're better off almost just to feel it. So I'm kind of to the method where you reverse it off the ground, hold it for a second, try to get a feel without doing anything too dramatic, and then gradually build your time up. And you will gain experience and feel just by doing it. But if you need an actual technique to use, this is the best one I've come up with so far. What I want you to do is start with an inversion and reverse off the ground. When you see one wing rising, what you want to think about is cause that other wing to rise. And the way to do that is watch for a low wing, and when you see the wing that is low, cross control. That means if your left wing is low, that's actually your right wing. Then cross control with your right handle and push it forward. That'll cause that wing to rise. Now the wing on the right side is low, which is actually the left wing. So when you see that wing go low, cross control with the other hand. So you're crossing over with the control. You watch the wings. When that one is low, cross control. When that one on the left side is low, cross control with the right. Looks like this. Here we go. Reverse it off the ground, and now we're watching for the wings. See how that wing on that side is low? We got to cross control. Now the wing on this side is low, cross control. Cross control, cross control, cross control, cross control, cross control, cross control. Hard to show on the video, because the movements are actually very small, I'm kind of overemphasizing. That's what's getting those big pops. But as you get used to it, the key is to notice very quickly which wing is low and very quickly cross control. But just give it a little bit. Let's see if I can do a really smooth one this time. Cross, 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 cross. Lots of times you'll see after doing one control, it's going to pop that wing up. Now the other ones. So you go back and forth between the two. As you gain sensitivity and touch, you'll be so light on the touch that you don't over-control it. Over-control is the real big problem. Okay, let's go through a quick sequence on how you might actually progress to it. It's not going to happen over 2 or 3 minutes. It's going to take some time depending on your wing conditions and your experience and all those things. But this is how the sequence should progress. Start out with that 1 second launch, try to maybe extend a little bit longer, and then maybe throw in a couple of those cross control methods. Here we go. Yeah, I didn't give it enough reverse, give it a little more pop. Okay, a little bit too much reverse, so it's very sensitive forward and backwards. You want to find that balance point.
I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we
The controls were a little overdone, and I'm not doing them very hard, so it's very easy to get way out of control, and the touch is very light. All right, let's get up there and let's see if we can use our cross control method.
Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening?
Yeah, you get to the point where you almost feel that shift in the pressure on the wing, and then you correct it before it even happens. Then you end up with a perfect hover. It looks like this.
Life lessons come 1 in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing.
It's your target. Okay, that's method number 1, that reverse off the ground. A couple of disadvantages are, number 1, you're on the ground and the wind conditions are not very good near the ground, so you're kind of reversing up into poor conditions. And number 2, you're on the ground, so you're kind of banging your rev around on the ground. Method number 2 is we're going to actually do a dive stop in the air, and then once you stop in that inverted position, try to hold that hover for 1 or 2 or 3 seconds. It's exactly the same thing. Just try to hold for a minute, try to get a feel, and maybe even try your cross controls. The advantages of the dive stop technique is you're high in the air, so there's less things to hit, and number 2, the wind is usually much better up there. The other thing is you can actually do it multiple times. You dive, stop, practice your hover. When it gets out of control, dive and stop it again. Practice the hover and dive and stop it again. So it's like 3 tries. Let's give it a shot.
Life lessons come 1 in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life lessons come 1 in a dozen. The other 11.
Pick up a rev. Join us at Revolution Club 38. It's included free with your rev purchase. Let's take your skills to the next level. We'll see you on the field.
The door, one thing certain, I'll always be your